Yeah. So when I moved to Atlanta, I had a job at a law firm, Fisher and Phillips, that is one of the preeminent national boutiques. So that means labor and employment. That's what everybody did. Somewhere in that lane of labor and employment. And so I had already had the taste for employment from Philadelphia. Probably oversold my capabilities and my experience a little bit. Got a job here in Atlanta. Fisher and Phillips, was there for 15 years. Learned a lot, had great experience, but there was something incomplete about it for me. I was not going to be in management. Like, I didn't see really what I was going to do to feel a little more fulfillment than giving great service to my clients and having great colleagues and having the flexibility to get to the games and that kind of stuff. 100% important to me as my kids were growing up. So, but one of the first people I met here in Atlanta that was not with Fisher and Phillips was Mark Taylor. And Mark is also an employment lawyer. He was with a firm called Powell Goldstein at the time, but I knew him socially. And I heard actually from my brother-in-law that Mark was leaving Powell Goldstein, was going to open a law firm with the idea of being kind of off the beaten path for not Midtown, downtown Buckhead, was going to and wanted to serve kind of middle market clients that he felt like he was getting priced out of serving, because if you're in a big firm under that model, you really don't have a say in what you're going to charge your clients, because there's a whole business economic thing behind it that is dependent on raising rates and keeping up with the competition in that of the same size firms. So he was really getting priced out of a lot of work, and that resonated with me. At the time I did a lot of insured work for employers. So there's a kind of insurance that insures discrimination claims and things like that. And I had relationships with insurance carriers and was doing that work. But that work is not premium dollar work. It's good work, and it's work for good clients that you can then do other work with. But I was missing out on two fronts really with these clients. I was charging them a far reduced rate that didn't make economic sense in the model I was in, because that was the insurance rate. And I couldn't really work with them on anything that wasn't employment, because that's all we did. And even to work with them in employment, now I was at the regular rate, and that was hard for insured clients to understand. Like, you're X dollars, but now you're X plus 200. Help me understand that. So so what Mark was talking about doing and had started was the idea that we're not going to put barriers between you and your client. You're a business person, you're an entrepreneur, which I didn't know at that time really even what that entailed, right? You learn it over time, but we're not going to tell you what to charge. Do what makes sense. Obviously, you're in this to make a profit. We have families to feed, et cetera, and your clients understand that you are doing it to make a profit. They're in their business for a profit too, but we're not pricing ourselves out of things. And we're also not going to surround ourselves with trappings of artwork and expensive offices and things that don't add value to the client. And that really spoke to me. So talked to Mark for a few months and then decided to join him. And it was such a eye-opening experience. I was working without a net for the first time, because I went from the safety of a salary, or at least knowing what I was going to make, to unlimited upside, but also no guarantee, no guarantee. And I was going, as an owner, I was going to really be responsible for the people around me, our receptionists, our paralegals, our secretaries. I had responsibility for making sure that they were able to feed their families. So that working without a net thing was exhilarating, and there's nothing to get you out of your comfort zone. Like there's nothing to catch you if you fall.